Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am Joey Francis, your life, love, and relationship coach, and thank you for joining. So, this week, since we're so early off in the year, I thought I would give you something very, very special. It is my 2025 guide to dating. Well, more towards online dating and or blind dating, but dating nonetheless, because these little tidbits of information could definitely help out anybody. So, just to jump right in, we're going to start off with essentially the first podcast that I did. Are you ready? Are you ready? And do you know what you're ready for? Like, that's the key part. Are you ready to get yourself into a serious relationship? Are you ready to just get yourself out there and to meet people? You need to be conscious of what you're ready for and also to be transparent, but we'll get to that. That's part one. Number two, know what you want, or at least have a really, really good idea, and have a really, really good idea of what you don't want. It is very important that you essentially go out into the dating world with a little bit of a shopping list or like a map, so that if somebody doesn't have the things you want or has the things you don't want, you can walk away and find obviously somebody that's better or more well suited to you. As we get older, we don't have time to waste on the maybes. As I believe I explained it last week, gambling on your future happiness. Number three, when you decide, you got to figure out how you're going to do this. And again, you got to be conscious about this. Talk to other people that have done this before, at least people that you know, the whole online thing. And be conscious of where you're going online and essentially what to expect. Now, the funny thing is a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about online dating and dating apps. So I will give you my recommendations, I guess you could say. For me personally, I do believe that Hinge and Bumble, as well as maybe Facebook dating, are probably the top three choices for the most authentic connections. Now, I'm a guy, so if you're a woman watching this, I understand. It can get very overwhelming and you have to do things at your own pace. That's part of this. Do things at your own pace. If you go online and you see that, hundreds or thousands of guys, and yes, it does happen, have messaged you or liked you, don't get overwhelmed. You don't need to reply to all of them. You just need to essentially talk to the ones you want to talk to. But if you've never said anything to them, then you owe them nothing. Okay? Just remember that. Now it comes to creating a profile. And I have a few things to say about this from my years of experience. Put something down. Guys do read. I know there's a lot of guys out there that don't, and they're just looking for sex. I get it. But the ones that are valued or valuable to you or potentially valuable to you, they do read. So put some things down in your profile, things about you, things that you enjoy doing, things that you want. It is important because, if you're an outdoorsy type, obviously you want somebody that's similar and is also outdoorsy. But you don't want some, guy that rather be in fine dining restaurants or, nightclubs, because that's not your thing. So writing down what you want, what you're like, what you expect, and being very, very transparent, I believe is going to help you. Now, again, there's going to be people that are just going to look at your pictures and they're not going to read what's written there. But those people will essentially show themselves off. Okay. You will know exactly who they are. And for that, that they didn't put the time in to read. So they're probably not worth your time. I mean, I've even seen some creative things where a woman said in their profile, like some were written in their profile, message me on a picture so I know that you've read this. Or, start off by messaging me with the word cat or dog or, something silly like that so that I know that you've read this. And then that even narrows it down even faster, because if somebody messages you and there's no cat or dog or whatever, then they didn't read your profile. And you know that it's not even worth your time because they didn't even spend the time to look up on you. So there's that. And now we're going to get into the pictures part. Ladies, be yourself. Okay. You don't need filters. You don't. Like, I understand. Makes you look good. I mean, that's the job of a filter. The problem is we don't need to put people's expectations where they don't belong. Like, for example, if you have pictures, and this goes for guys as well, but if all your pictures are you done up at a wedding, for instance, and, professional makeup, hair done, and for the guys, same thing, wearing suits, hair done, clean shaven, whatever the case is, and you go to meet someone and then that person doesn't show up, people are going to feel like they've been gypped. And I mean, the same thing goes with, a woman meeting a guy, because let's be honest, gentlemen, if you're listening to this, stop lying about your height. I get it. It sucks. Women like tall guys. I understand. But they're going to know, okay? They're going to know. Just stop. All right? If you lie about something about yourself, the person you meet is going to think that this is a part of you or about you or a way that you are. And when it turns out that it's not true, they're not going to like you anymore. Like the whole idea of catfishing, my God, stop. Just stop. Okay? Your personality might be great, but nobody wants to start off a relationship based on a lie. So even if you find someone who doesn't value appearance as much as other people, and they fall in love with your personality, and then you go out to meet them, and you aren't what they thought you were, it's not them being shallow, it's you being a liar. Stop it. Just stop. Be transparent. Be honest. It's going to serve you well into the future, as opposed to trying to explain yourself on why you lied. And if your excuse is, but if I didn't lie, people wouldn't like me. Well, people don't like liars either. So you lose nonetheless. So just stop. And going back to the profile pictures, no, don't stop with the pictures with lots of people. I know both men and women apparently do this. Just stop. Because the thing is, if somebody sees pictures with a bunch of people in it, they're going to assume that you're the hottest one. And granted, everybody's taste is completely subjective. They might pick you, but they might not pick you. And if they don't pick you, how embarrassing is that? Number one, for them, and number two, for yourself. Someone just essentially said to your face that's like, hey, listen, you're not as hot as your friend. And when you're in a position of like dating online or just dating in general, it stings the ego a little bit, let's be honest. It's not necessary. What I recommend is essentially put pictures of yourself as the way you are the majority of the time. Essentially undersell, over-deliver. Think of it in those terms. If you put pictures of yourself first thing in the morning or all sweaty at the gym, and I obviously know that it's different for guys and girls because guys sweat at the gym, girls might like that. Girls sweat at the gym, guys might be a little off-put from that. But if a guy can find you attractive when you're, fresh from a workout, all sweaty, hair messy, little rosy cheeks, and the guy's like, oh my God, she's so adorable. What's he gonna think when you're all dolled up? he's going to like you that much more. Undersell, over deliver. So, just as much as you need to be completely transparent and honest with your profile, you need to do that with your photos as well. And listen, not just this, all of you. Imagine online dating as being in a nightclub. Okay. You think that, when you meet in a nightclub or a bar, it's based on chemistry. No, it's not based on chemistry. Because the guy's going to see you from across the bar and be like, oh, you know what? She's hot. I'm going to go talk to her. They can see all of you. So treat online dating as like the world's largest bar or nightclub, singles bar. And obviously, hopefully that everybody's there with the right intentions. So there's that. Next part. When you do match with someone, okay, engage with them. Talk to them. Now, listen, again, I understand having the same conversations over and over and over again gets repetitive and stale and boring. And then we don't want to do it. And then, someone comes along and we might have the same conversations again, but we might be off put because of it. This person could essentially be the person. And because we're like, oh, not this again. Yeah, I work here and I do this for fun and blah, 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 blah. They might be like, oh, you know what? This person doesn't really care to talk to me. So. And for those that are just listening, I'm just like waving my hand in the air because essentially it means that they're going to pass you because you're energetic and, I'm thinking of words that aren't coming to me. So my apologies. But your amazing self, that's what I'm going to come up with. Your amazing self isn't going to shine through because of your tiredness of having similar conversations over and over again and just believing that, oh, here's another jackass. Oh, here's another gold digger. Here's another whatever. And not giving people an actual shot. And fatigue is a real thing. So if you do feel fatigued, stop. Take a break from it. It's allowed, And I know it's a very give and take type of scenario because if you're not trying, you're not getting. So if you take a break, then obviously, but at the same time, if you're not being authentic and actually putting forth your best intentions and the best version of yourself, then you're not going to really win anybody over anyway. So maybe that break is worthwhile. So engage with people, like honestly, thoughtfully, like be yourself, most importantly. And this is where things start to get a little shady because there's a lot of people out there that believe I need to meet someone right away. I need to know whether I have chemistry with this person, I find them attractive in real life, whatever the case is. And granted, those are very valuable things. But at the same time, it's just as valuable, and I mentioned this last week, it's just as valuable as you learning about them. Do we have the same values? Do we believe the same things? Is it going to be a problem if we don't? Do you have any vices that I don't approve of? Etc., etc., etc. So you can find all these other things out in the conversation. So instead of rushing, spend 3, 4, 5, 6 days talking to someone before planning a date. And essentially, those lists that I told you to write out, try to target the conversations to those things so that you learn those things first and foremost. So if somebody has something you don't want, hey, listen, you're a wonderful human being. It was really nice talking to you. I wish you all the best. And move on. And believe it or not, it's it's more accepted nowadays. People hate being ghosted. So just saying like, hey, you're not for me. I wish you the best of luck. And just move on. A lot of people are perfectly fine with it. I know that I am, and I appreciate it. And I obviously do the same thing. So take your time. Don't rush. Build rapport with someone. Get to know them. Find out if they have the things you want. Find out if they don't have the things you don't want. And obviously, I'm not saying that you need to text and talk for weeks. A week. That's usually like my standard, 7 days, to see how things go. Because in the beginning, we have all the things in the world to talk about. And then I want to see like after 2 or 3 or 4 days, it's still the same. Or are people going to like flatline and it's going to get boring and stale and then, just move on anyway. So, and then after that week, obviously you're going to plan a meeting. So here's another one. Obviously some are public. My recommendation, a drink or coffee or something along those lines in a very public place. I know for a period of time, people were going for walks and like planning walking dates, which, I mean, if that's your thing, that's cool. But it's also, where are you walking? Are you walking in like some trail where at points it's just the two of you? I don't know if that's exactly the safest thing. So I would recommend for at least the first 2 or 3 dates, public places. Obviously the first, second date, drink or coffee. And the reason being, because I know a lot of women out there are like, no, I want to be treated to dinner and I want this and I want that. And it's like, hey, that's great. If you're looking for a free meal, perfect. Then, go with that. If you're looking to actually get to know someone and be honest with your intentions, then keep it simple. Because here's the thing. You can meet somebody. You can talk to them for a week, get to know them, find out like, hey, you know what? This person has a lot of the things I'm looking for. This person is missing the things that I don't want. So far, so good. And then you go out with them. No vibe whatsoever. It's almost like the person you're talking to on the phone and the person that's there in front of you, two completely different people. And granted, people are shy, and if you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, that's your choice. But if the vibe's not there, the vibe's not there. So would you rather spend 5-10 minutes with a coffee or a drink and be like, hey, you know what? It was nice getting to know you. Nothing there. I wish you the best of luck. And you move on? Or that you're stuck there for a dinner. And now you got to like listen to this person, and it might be cringe. And it might get cringy over, the course of like another hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how long dinner lasts. So coffee, drink. You can keep it 5 minutes. You can keep it as long as you want. I mean, I've personally been on, drink dates that ended up being a dinner date because you meet for a drink and it's like, this is great. Are you hungry? Let's just go grab something to eat, or let's go do this, or let's go do that, because you have the option to do so. So that's my suggestion. I know a lot of people don't like what I have to say sometimes. And hey, if you do what works for you, this is purely my recommendations to keep you safe, happy, and successful. Also, first couple of dates, if not the first like 3 dates, meet at the place. Nobody's picking up nobody. Nobody needs to know where anybody else lives. Okay. And it should be understood. And I've heard from some females that they've mentioned this to men, and these men are extremely like forceful and like, no, I want to treat you right. I want to pick you up. And it's like, listen, this is for my safety. This isn't for, your chivalry. Like, it's appreciated, but this is for safety. And if they don't understand it, then maybe they're not the guy for you. Because just imagine that something as simple as saying like, hey, no, it's cool. Like, we can meet there. That's today. Now you date this person, get into a relationship with, and then long term, you want to say something. You want to offer your opinion or a different way of doing things. Well, you already know it's not going to go over very well because this person is very hard-headed and stubborn. So sometimes the way things are, tell a bigger story. Use your intuition, listen to your gut. So that's with that. Now, the next thing, planning your expectations. Don't have any. Imagine you going out to meet someone and that's exactly what you're doing. You're not going out to meet your next boyfriend or girlfriend. You're not imagining having a wedding with this person or having a life with them. You're just going to meet another human being and keep it that way. Because the thing is some of us get ahead of ourselves. We might get excited after talking to someone and start imagining what it would be like to be dating them or what it would be like to live life with them, be married to them, and etc. And listen, I know some of you out there might be thinking, that's absurd. Who does that? No, there's people that do it. And you know who you are. Be self-aware. Stop. You're going out to meet another human being, and that's it. This is a person that you've talked to, that you might have some interest in, that you might enjoy conversing with them. So at the very least, you're going to go out and have a fairly decent time. And that's about it. So dial it back. Keep your expectations low. Don't get overwhelmed, because not everybody you meet is going to be the guy or the girl. Okay? Some people might come into your life and have similar views as you, be fun to talk to, but there's absolutely nothing there in person. And I've come across that. And you know what ended up happening? I made friends. Some of these friends I've had for the past 5-6 years now. And it all started from online dating and meeting them and realizing there's nothing there. So be open to things. And obviously, last but not least, have fun. Have fun. It's supposed to be fun. I understand so many people out there, so many people hate dating. It's a chore. Do you want to go out with someone that it's a chore to see them or a chore to talk to them? No. It's boring and mundane. And then you're like, oh, yeah. Oh, well. You got to be fun and lively. Be yourself, whatever that is. Be excited about meeting people. And again, if that excitement dies down, or if you become overwhelmed, or if you become tired of it, just take a break. You're allowed to do these things. You can take a break from everything. And even if you're talking to someone as you need that break, well, you can even say to them hey, listen, you know what? I've been really overwhelmed with this whole thing for the past, X amount of days or weeks or months or whatever the case is. I need to take a break. Would you be open to me contacting you after I'm done my break? That's it. And you're leaving the choice up to them. I'm going to say this a lot, and I'm going to say it to you right now. The two most important things in any relationship, whether it be romantic, friendship, business relationship, it doesn't matter. The two most important things are, number one, communication. You need to be able to communicate and be transparent with people and give them the option to decide. This is my life. This is when I have free time. This is when I don't. This is when I can go out on dates. This is what I expect. And now it's up to them to say, I accept that. Because that's number two, acceptance. Not gambling your future happiness on people's promises. You need to accept people as they are, who they are, standing right in front of you. Not who they say they're going to be in a week or 2 weeks or in a month or even in a year. Who they are right in front of you today. And if you do those two things above all else, your choices will be much better and much clearer. And if somebody doesn't give you the same thing back to you, walk away. Just walk away. I understand people's styles of communication are different. And it is very valuable to find someone who has similar communication style to you. So if you're the type of person that doesn't like to discuss things right away, if there's an issue, for instance, then you need to find someone who's similar, who needs to take a step back, take a breath. Because if you're like someone that's like me, that I like to discuss things right away. If there's an issue, I want to talk about it right now. And you're someone that needs to take a step away. It's me that has to accept the fact that you're going to step away. It's you that has to accept the fact that I'm going to be like on you, like, hey, like, let's talk about this. What's the problem? No. What's bothering you? What's the problem? Or you have to be able to say, hey, listen, this is a little overwhelming for me. I need to take a few minutes to catch my breath and, figure this shit out before I come and talk about it. Again, completely allowed. But we're just diving into a whole other realm of stuff right now. So, on that note, if you've made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions that you would like to ask me, or if you need help in any which way, you can email me at joyfrancis@gmail.com. That's JoeyFrances@gmail.com. Or I'm going to have something on my website for you to send me a message through there. That is joeyfrancis.com, JoeyFrances.com. And again, thank you so very, very much. I greatly appreciate you. Stay amazing. I need to figure out like a good ending line for this. But for this week, stay amazing. How's that? We need to find something better. But stay amazing nonetheless. Okay. Bye-bye.